I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Sectional Basketball here on SummitCitySports.com. We are coming to you live from Carroll High School here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, just near the city line of Huntertown, Indiana. I'm Thad Goff bringing the broadcast. Lindley Kistler will be running camera for me tonight. And we've got back-to-back games here at Carroll between East Noble and Northrop, and then between Snyder and Northside. That's game number 2 set to take off at about 7:45. This game set to take off in about 14 minutes. Now East Noble, they are 4-19 overall, 3-19 for the regular season. They're coming off a close win against DeKalb. That was a 44-40 win for the Knights of East Noble against DeKalb, snapping a 3-game losing streak. The last win for East Noble was a huge win against New Haven. Though New Haven does have a losing record, they do have a lot of talent and a lot of speed. They are tough to beat no matter who you are, and they showed that to Huntington North when they came back from 19 points down to beat them, and they also showed that to Woodland, even though Woodland did beat New Haven. New Haven gave them quite a ball game, and East Noble was able to knock them off. That was a huge win for East Noble. There are other wins coming against Churubusco and Garrett. In the Churubusco game, that was convincing. 68-28 was the final in that one. Now, Brandon Durnell is the head coach for East Noble. He's been at East Noble for 21 years. This is his second year as head coach, taking over for Ryan Eakins. He is a Spring Arbor alum. Spring Arbor is in Michigan, but you might know them because they play a lot of the area teams. They play St. Francis, they play Huntington, they play Indiana Wesleyan, Taylor, all teams that are part of the Crossroads League. St. Francis, of course, is right here in Fort Wayne, the only Crossroads League school located in Fort Wayne. And though East Noble has only won 4 games this season, they do have some guys who can score the basketball. Hunter Klein is the leading scorer. He averages 15.5 points per game. Owen Ritchie averages 11.3 points per game. So those are a couple of guys to watch out for when East Noble has the basketball. In just a moment, we'll talk more about this Northrop team that got the bye coming into this sectional playoff game. You are watching Indiana High School basketball, sectional basketball on SummitCitySports.com and IHSAATV.org.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana High School Sports. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back to Carroll High School, kind of on the city limits of Fort Wayne and Huntertown, Indiana. This is the Class 4A Sectional 5 semifinals on SummitCitySports.com and IHSAATV.org. We talked a little about this East Noble team. Northrop, they come into this game at 4-18. They had the first round bye, so they awaited the winner of DeKalb versus East Noble, and of course they get East Noble for this game. Northrop went 4-18 for the regular season, and they are trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. Their last win was on January 24th against Canterbury on the road. Hard-fought game, 59-57. And while Canterbury does have a losing record, they did upset Lakeland Christian, one of the best teams in Class 1A, the same class that Canterbury is a part of. And they were able to knock off Lakeland Christian earlier this season. Northrop, that was their last win against Canterbury, 7 straight losses. They did have an overtime game in that stretch. That was on the road against Bishop Dwenger. 54-51 was the final score over there. And Dwenger, they're also having a losing season, but they've been able to battle against some of the better teams on their schedule, such as Homestead. They took them to overtime, and they defeated Blackhawk Christian earlier this year. Northrop playing a close game against Dwenger, but ended up falling in that one. Now, Northrop does have some guys who can score the basketball as well. Dalman Alexander, he's a big 6'5" guard hybrid, forward hybrid type of player. That's him at the bottom of your screen right there, number 25, shooting that 3 over there. He's a guy who can shoot the 3, can also score on the perimeter. He's averaging 16.3 points per game. Jaden Schmenk averages 10 points per game. He's come quite a long ways in his basketball career, building up to a double-digit scorer this year. Dallas Lawrence is a junior, averaging 8.9 points per game. Now, while he averages under 10 points per game, he's a guy who can drive to the basket and score on a pretty consistent basis. And Northrop might just have an up-and-coming star with the freshman Don LeRae Reese. He'll likely come off the bench. But Don LeRae has made a huge impact in his time with the Northrop Bruins. Head coach Rod Shamble had plenty of good words to say about Don LeRae. Said, and I quote, "He's a very good student of the game. As his understanding of varsity-level basketball continues to grow, so has his play." That was Rod Shamble in an email exchange that we had leading up to this game, talking about Don LeRae Reese. Well, we got about a minute to go before we get this sectional semifinal underway here at Carroll High School. It's been an interesting day for Indiana high school basketball in general because you've had a number of games get postponed due to the weather outside. It's raining. We've even got some snow mixed in. And it's also quite windy out there as well. But here at Carroll, they are going to play basketball tonight. They're going to have the semifinal tonight, and then they're going to have the championship game tomorrow. Some schools have postponed. Columbia City postponed their semifinals from tonight to tomorrow. They're going to play the semifinals, from what I understand, at 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock. And if I'm not mistaken, they're going to have the championship game on Saturday night. They're going to try and get through all of it by Saturday. And over at Garrett, meanwhile, they're going to have their semifinal tomorrow night and then their championship game on Monday night. Well, in just a moment, we will have the national anthem and the announcement of the starting lineups. This is high school sectional basketball on SummitCitySports.com and IHSAATV.org.
How can we help you see today? At A&J Optical, we offer frames for the entire family: Nike, MCM, Timberland, Victoria's Secret, Tom Ford, Clear Eye View, Ray-Ban, Guess, and our own A&J Optical line. We accept most insurance: Davis Vision, iMed, Anthem, United Health, Medicare, and Medicaid. We are located at 3629 North Clinton Street, right next door to Wood and Nickel.
A&J Optical.
Currently have the non-starters being announced. They'll announce the starters in just a matter of moments and then have the national anthem, and then we will be playing basketball here on SummitCitySports.com and IHSAATV.org. Northrop 4-18 and East Noble 4-18. More on that later.
Buckley. A 6'6" senior, number 25, Tallman Alexander. Bruins are coached by Ron Chimball. And now for the starters for the home team on the scoreboard, the East Noble Knights. And 5'11" sophomore, 0, Ethan Poker. And 6' senior, number 10, Owen Ritchie. A 6'2" junior, number 12, Owen Gessel. A 6'6" senior, number 33, Hunter Klein. And 11" freshman, number 34, Mason Trish. Coach of the Knights is Mr. Brandon Grinnell. At this time, we ask you all please rise, direct your attention to the United States flag, located on the southern upper end of the fieldhouse as we play our national anthem.
And with that, we are ready for basketball here at Carroll High School. East Noble taking on Northrop. The winner of this game moves on to the championship game, which is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right back here at Carroll. And the winner of this sectional will move on to Logansport for regionals next Saturday. Winner of this sectional will not only go to Logansport, the winner of the sectional at Columbia City will also go to Logansport. So one of the area teams could meet one of these teams in that regional championship. This is Keon Bates as Northrop wins the opening tip. Got Northrop on the right side of our screen, but they are the visiting team for this particular game in the road orange. And here is Dalman Alexander with his first touch. He averages over 16 points per game. Hayden Lepley getting the start tonight. Nitez Chandler Merriweather is not available for the night. Good feed, but it's blocked on the inside. Hunter Klein got his hands on the shot. And Klein is the leading scorer also for East Noble coming into this game. So watch out for him when he's got the basketball. This is Mason Trish. He's a freshman. The only freshman on the varsity roster for East Noble getting the chance to start tonight. He's 5'11". And there is Klein on the inside working against Alexander. Alexander got a piece of that. Down the baseline goes Schmenk. Hayden Lepley knocks down the three ball. And Northrop will take the first lead of the game. And there's a takeaway. That's Keon Bates getting to the basket and scoring. A little bit of pressure there. They get the ball inside. That's Owen Van Gessel. Works the ball outside, creates an extra possession. Three ball won't fall, and Lepley chases down the board for Northrop. Keon Bates running the point, basically quarterback in the offense, kind of like he did in football season. Bates was the starting quarterback at Northrop under two different coaches, Jason Dorfler and later Quentin Bowen. Dorfler now the head coach at Leo. Lawrence, his floater comes up short. It's boarded by Mason Trish. Turnaround shot. Klein comes up short, and Lepley goes after the loose ball. Schmenk into the paint. Banks it in transition. Jaden Schmenk. Dallas Lawrence back there bringing some pressure. He's able to get back on defense. Oh, Schmenk was eyeing a takeaway there. Ritchie avoided the turnover for the moment, but not for long. Dallas Lawrence gets the takeaway for Northrop. Here is Bates driving inside. Recovers. He's got Ritchie on him. 2-3 zone here by the Knights. Lepley goes baseline. They get the ball to Alexander. He'll try to go baseline. Right over Klein, and he's fouled. Hunter Klein with the early foul. First foul of the game so far.
East Noble foul. 33, Hunter Klein.
Dalman Alexander is the leading scorer on this Northrop basketball team, but he could not knock down that first free throw. Does shoot the free throw at 73%, but he missed both of them. Lepley almost had the board, but it's taken right back by Nathan Boker. Catch and shoot three, and Mason Trish knocks it down to get East Noble on the board. The freshman getting the start. Battle for the ball on the deck. If it's a jump ball, the arrow would favor East Noble. And it looks like it is going to be a jump ball. Northrop won the tip, so East Noble keeps the possession. Northrop will set up the press. Little 1-2-2 zone press, it looks like. Trish finds Boker. That ball's knocked away. Schmenk somehow keeps it alive, but throws it right to Boker. Boker's open, not for long. There was some contact there. Boker knocks down the three ball. Two straight threes for the Knights. Nathan Boker, the sophomore, putting that one home. Had the freshman Mason Trish knocking one down earlier. Lawrence, right through that zone, scores on the finger roll. Now there's some of that pressure. Lawrence helping to set it. They throw it long across court, and Bates takes it away. Taken right back, though. That's Owen Van Gessel who gets the takeaway. Trish through traffic, back out to Van Gessel. Trish will fire a three, in and out. He almost had his second of the ball game, but the putback's good. Van Gessel, Johnny on the spot. East Noble sets up their 2-3 zone. That's the first non-3 that East Noble has knocked down. Alexander swings it out to Bates. Bates will fire the three. It's an air ball. Kobe Ritchie kept it alive and then threw it away to Schmenk. Schmenk stepped out. That was looking like a turnover either way. Not sure if Lawrence was fully established across the timeline by the time he caught the ball. 3:22 to go. East Noble started off slow. Didn't get a bucket until about the 4.5-minute mark of this first quarter, but they are on the board now. The last minute and a half, they've outscored Northrop 8-2. Van Gessel backs it out. Northrop going with a man-to-man, a little contrasting styles as far as defense goes. Van Gessel a little long off the backboard. Alexander with the board for Northrop. Alexander was thinking about firing. Comes up short, gets it back. Working against three defenders, no trouble at all. Dalman Alexander making it happen down low. At 6'6", Alexander able to work around all three of those defenders. I don't think anybody down there was bigger than him. That's Kobe Ritchie with the offensive board. Van Gessel for three, count it. East Noble has tied the game. Third three of the game for the Knights. Brandon Durnell, the head coach for East Noble, has been sticking with this 2-3 zone so far. They told me that they try to run their offense through Hunter Klein. Now, Hunter Klein has yet to score in this game. That likely will not last long. Sometimes it takes just a matter of moments for a good player to get it going. Don LeRae Reese is in the game meanwhile. Lawrence makes a tough catch and puts it in right along the angle of the basket. Van Gessel through traffic, and he was fouled. That's the first Bruins foul of the game so far. We reflect that last bucket there by Lawrence. 13-11 the score. They get Don LeRae Reese, the freshman, and Reese has gotten a lot of minutes, mostly off the bench, but some as a starter this year for Northrop, and Rod Chamble has been very impressed with Don LeRae's play on the court. Trish to the basket, high off the glass, ripped down by Lepley. Check that. Oh, that is Lepley. As Schmenk drives, it's off the hands of Alexander. Nathan Boker recovers. Van Gessel into the paint. Leaves it off to Klein. Klein blocked but fouled. Dahlman Alexander is the one who's going to get credit for that foul, his first. It'll be the second team foul against the Bruins. And that was in the act of shooting, so that'll send Hunter Klein to the line. Klein has been scoreless so far in the game. So we remind you that we've got Northside taking on Snyder coming up next, a little SAC matchup. Snyder was sectional champions last year and also in 2020. But Northside trying to keep them from getting to the championship game again this year. That's more to come later. Hunter Klein goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Just over a minute to go. Now, obviously, there's no shot clock in Indiana high school basketball, so Northrop could technically take this all the way down, but they're not going to. Reese in and out on the three ball. Owen Van Gessel with the board as Northrop looks to set up their press. All traveling is called in the backcourt on Trish. Brandon Durnell's telling him, just go. Dribble the basketball and don't even worry about picking it up. 55.9 left to go. Dallas Lawrence will put it in for Northrop. This is Ahmad Salam. He's a sophomore, and he's a guy who's been getting a lot of minutes off the bench. Some notable seniors on this year's team. Those are Dahlman Alexander and Jaden Schmenk. That one's blocked. Kobe Ritchie knocked it away, and here comes Boker. And Boker scores in transition to give East Noble their first lead of the game. We'll see how Northrop plays this possession. Do they play for the last shot of the quarter? Alexander, the pull-up, comes up short, and it's rebounded by Kobe Ritchie. Trish gets it, goes quick, and gives to Van Gessel. Now East Noble can hold for the final possession. Final shot even. Driving into the basket, Van Gessel picks it up. Clock's running down, and Van Gessel draws the foul with .3 on the clock. Van Gessel was having all kinds of trouble working around that Northrop defense, and he's able to draw the foul in the end. It's on Dallas Lawrence. It's a third foul against Northrop. Van Gessel will add to the lead for East Noble. He's already up to 6 points. In and out on the second one, but Alexander able to chuck it down the court. He sent it a long way. But it'll remain 16-13 with East Noble on top as we go to the second quarter. You're watching sectional basketball on IHSAA.TV.org and SummitCitySports.com.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. a journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
16-13 as we start the second quarter. Northrop did jump out to an early 7-0 lead, but East Noble, with the help of back-to-back threes, was able to get right back in this ballgame, and now they have the lead at 16-13. The defensive schemes have been quite contrasting. East Noble has mostly gone with a zone defense, but it looks like they've shifted into man-to-man as they double-team Alexander here. And Alexander drains the jump shot. The double team, no trouble at all. So far, just 4 points for Alexander, but a lot of basketball left to be played. As Ritchie loses it, Brandon Durnell shocked that a foul was not called. And Salam scores on the other end to give Northrop the lead. Back-to-back buckets for the Bruins. Bruins again have this pressure on, as that is Hunter Klein, who has not yet gotten on the board as far as shots from the field are concerned. He does have a couple free throws, though, but he is the leading scorer coming into this game for East Noble. Driving inside is Mason Trish, and he is fouled. East Noble's last game was against DeKalb. Now, DeKalb is coached by Marty Beasley, who's the former head coach here at Carroll. Had a great run with the Chargers before he took over at DeKalb. This is his second year coaching over there in Waterloo, Indiana, which I believe is straight north of Fort Wayne. Mason Trish knocks down his first free throw. He's a freshman. He goes 2 for 2, and East Noble is back on top. Well, so far we got a back-and-forth ball game here at Carroll. East Noble with the 1-point lead as they come out to double team against Bates. Lawrence hanging in the air. Oh, it rolled right off. That's almost knocked away. Ritchie keeps control. Of course, you got Owen Ritchie and Kobe Ritchie on this East Noble team. They are not related to each other. Driving to the basket is Trish. Foul is called, and it's an offensive foul on Trish. Not very many fouls against East Noble today. That's only their second. And now it looks like East Noble will go back into that 2-3 zone that they have used almost exclusively throughout this game. Lawrence will hand that one off to Bates. Lawrence, and he's going to get called for shuffling the feet there. Did see him move his right foot a little bit after he picked up his dribble. And move the left as well. 1-2-2 zone press. Northrop has used this quite frequently. The stoppage of play, they had a chance to use it. That ball's out of bounds. No, it stays in. It was recovered by Nathan Boker. Only 2 points scored this half by East Noble have come from the free throw line. Ritchie zips it over. They go inside to Klein, trying to go to work on Alexander, and Klein's shot won't fall. Good defense by Alexander. Tell you, one of the things he did well there, he stayed between his man and the basket, which is what you have to do. They're going to wave that off for traveling. Well, Dalman Alexander made the three, but it's coming off the board because of the travel. The official was right on it. I tell you, from here it certainly looked like it was clean, but I had a different angle than the official. Jaden Schmenk going for the steal there. Jackson Hughes, the sophomore, comes into the game off of Northrop's bench. Hughes has shown the ability to knock down some threes this year. We'll see how his role increases, if indeed it does, over these next couple of years for Northrop. This is Landon Swagger, and he's guarded well by Salam. Loose ball. Trish wasn't looking for it. He was fouled. No, 3 seconds in the lane. Bates will come across the timeline, and it looks as though Noble is back in their 2-3 zone. Alexander will zip that one outside to Salam. Scoring's been at a premium this second quarter. Northrop has outscored East Noble 4-2 since the second quarter began. And now we're going to get a foul. It looks like it's an offensive foul, a moving screen. Jackson Hughes going to be called for this one. Well, the next Northrop foul would be their last foul to give. Trish across the timeline with a quick motor, trying to get right through that trap. And Swagger couldn't hit the floater. Bates comes back down the floor. Bates on the attack. Little Euro step, too strong. Landon Swagger rips it down. Well, Swagger playing with some intensity there. The sophomore coming in off the bench. I don't think he had any minutes in the first quarter, but so far he's making the most of his minutes here in the second. They go inside to Klein. Klein still without a field goal yet. Blocked by Alexander. And it looked like East Noble touched it last. They say no. That sure looked as though Van Gessel was the last to touch it, and I think that's why Rod Chamble's got his hands over his head. Meanwhile, Klein is down. They're able to get him up. The good news is he's walking around, but Brandon Durnell's got a couple of subs over at the scorer's table. It sure looked as though Van Gessel was the last to touch that one. Klein is going to exit the game. So fans give him a round of applause. 4:13 to go in the first half of this sectional semifinal game. Championship tomorrow at 7 p.m. right here at Carroll. Winner of this game faces the winner of Snyder versus Northside. Still sop up a little wet spot there. Right about the spot that Klein was sitting. With some good defense by Dahlman Alexander. He's been guarding Klein all night long. He won't have to guard him here while Klein's on the bench. Long inbound, and Salam goes up and snatches it. But then has it snatched right back by Trish. But how about the ups by Salam? Kobe Ritchie through traffic. It's out of bounds off of Northrop. Well, that is worth another look, and we've got just enough time to show it to you. Salam is 5'11". He showed some ups there to get that steal. Here's Boker guarded by Salam. Well, Salam can show some more of that kind of defense. It may not be long before he's a starter. That's a maybe. We don't know what's going to happen next year. But we do know that some seniors are set to graduate this year, some notable ones. A lot of ball movement by East Noble. Three ball is good. The second bounce goes in, and it's Nathan Boker. That's East Noble's first field goal of this second quarter. Northwood started out with 4 straight points. East Noble's back in their 2-3 zone. Here's Alexander. The extra pass to Salam. Behind Bates, Schmenk is there to chase it down. Schmenk right through a little soft spot, and he scores. Through traffic goes Boker. Back outside to Van Gessel. Van Gessel trying to keep control of the ball. He goes to the deck. Rod Chamble wants a traveling call. Brandon Durnell's going to get a timeout. I'm not sure Chamble doesn't have an argument, but nonetheless, the timeout is granted. And while East Noble takes a timeout, we will also take one right here on SummitCitySports.com and IHSAATV.org.
How can we help you see today? At A&J Optical, we offer frames for the entire family: Nike, MCM, Timberland, Victoria's Secret, Tom Ford, Clear Eye View, Ray-Ban, Guess, and our own A&J Optical line. We accept most insurance: Davis Vision, iMed, Anthem, United Health, Medicare, and Medicaid. We are located at 3629 North Clinton Street, right next door to Wood and Nickel.
A&J Optical.
Rather low-scoring second quarter so far, but it's East Noble with the 2-point lead. Northrop opened the quarter scoring 4 straight points. Since then, East Noble has outscored them 7-2. Most recent bucking coming from Jaden Schmank on a little dribble drive right through a soft spot in East Noble's zone. Nathan Boker's wide open, and he buries another 3. That's his 3rd of the ball game. Nathan Boker, the sophomore, having his way against the Bruins, and Schmank on the attack again. How do you slow him down? Northrop's last 2 possessions, Jaden Schmank has found a soft spot in that zone, and he did it again just there. Boker goes inside. Van Gessel across the paint, and Kobe Ritchie gets fouled by Alexander. Alexander noticeably frustrated with the call. But it will be a couple of free throws here for Kobe Ritchie. 1:36 to go in this first half. Ritchie a little bit short on that first one. That's Alexander's second foul. It's the 6th team foul against Northrop. East Noble becomes the first team to crack the bonus. Kobe Ritchie on the board for the first time. Schmank trying to drive through traffic. He scored on dribble penetration the last 2 possessions. Now he's open for 3. But he comes up short. Trish crashes in for the board. Schmank had a great look if there ever was one. Bates comes with the help side. Baseline drive. Through traffic goes Kobe Ritchie, and he's fouled from behind. That's going to go on Jackson Hughes. It's on Keon Bates. That's the 7th. That officially puts East Noble into the bonus, but this one was on the shot. One for 2 goes Ritchie, and it's Bates who tracks down the ball. East Noble able to get back on defense. And Northrop might be playing this out to get the last shot of the half, as Bates hands that one off to Hayden Lepley. Now Schmank on the attack. A little bit too strong, and a foul looks like it's on Lawrence, or is it? It is on Dallas Lawrence. Northrop commits its 8th team foul, 2nd personal against Lawrence. And once again, Kobe Ritchie's going right back to the free throw line where he's been the last 2 possessions. But he missed the first of the 1-and-1, and that's Bates who comes down with the rebound. Now does Northrop hold for the final shot here now as we've reached 30 seconds? Maybe not. Bates goes for the floater and banks it home. Quick down the floor goes Trish, rolls right off the iron. Ritchie has it blocked. Mason Widmer, and then another block. I believe that was Hughes. Bates down the floor, another floater, puts it home. Back-to-back buckets for Bates. Three ball to close out the half, would not fall. That was Trish who took the shot. East Noble maintains the lead at halftime, 26-25, but Northrop with a nice little run there to close the gap at the end of the half, and some missed free throws definitely plagued East Noble late in that first half. How much of a difference will that make as the game goes on? We'll be right back and take a look at the first half stats in just a moment here on SummitCitySports.com. Although before we do that, we'll get in some words from our sponsors that allow us to do these games that we get to do so often right here on SummitCitySports.com. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. Kelly Automotive Group is celebrating their 70th year in business. Shop all 14 of their dealerships and contact Kelly Automotive Group at brands@drivekelly.com. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com to learn more. (26-25) in favor of East Noble, but Northrop able to close the gap there towards the end of the first half. We will be back in just a moment. You're watching high school playoff basketball on SummitCitySports.com and IHSAATV.org.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I just want to be the best in basketball, so I want to be the greatest of all time to play women's basketball. So I just know there's people out there working just as much as me, so I just want to keep working hard and keep that intensity going. And so one day I can pursue my dreams of being in the WNBA and playing overseas. So I just want bigger things to come in my life.
I remember when I started in March, she could do 0 pull-ups. She did have a great 25-inch vertical when she first started. She only weighed 150 pounds. One of our main mottos is do the simple things exceedingly well, and that's where we started. So we started the foundation, building her base, and now we've got to basically the peak of our pyramid of things that we can do with her. So we didn't skip any levels. We did all the basics, and she got really, really good at them, and that's what's led her to become as great as she is at basketball and performance.
I've watched her grow, the confidence-wise, the strength-wise, the jumping ability, her footwork. It's really amazing to kind of watch for a girl her size, being 6'3", 6'4", to move like she can move and do the thing and be as agile as she is, along with the strength.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts, all with a 99% career success rate.
You belong here.
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 I belong here.
Has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
I like to stay active. I try to come in here at least 3 times a week and just get my 1-hour workout in. Since September, I think I've put on 22 pounds of muscle. I think my vertical has gone up plus 5 inches. I've gotten a lot faster since then, too. I can hit the ball further. In football, I can push people around more. It's basketball easier, too. Just being stronger just makes everything easier.
Brandon started with Gym Rat's basketball training. After one of the sessions, he came up to me and he wanted to know if he could do more. So Brandon started the EDGE program in November, in addition to the club training he was doing, because it offers personalized programming for his athletic goals. PSN Performance uses a long-term athletic development pyramid. At such a young age, it's really good for Brandon to set the foundation of athletic development. Since he is in season all year round, he has to be ready for all the physical demands. So he does a lot more strength training, just because in basketball he sprints and cuts a lot. In baseball he's doing a lot of sprinting. In football he does a lot of sprinting and jumping. So preparing him to withstand the physical demands of those games, he does a lot more strength training.
I like all the lower body stuff the best. I do goblet squats, split squats, back squat, front squat, a lot of those. Tyler knows what's best for me. He always points me in the right direction. He just pushes me to go harder every day.
In 4 years, this could be you.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts.
You belong here!
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Yo, what's going on? It's Antoine Taylor with Matrix QB. I'm so excited to announce our new book, The Quarterback Tool Shed, strictly designed to help you slow the game down so that you can speed up. Whether you're a parent, a coach, or a player, it's jam-packed with information. We're going to help you slow the game down by giving you a mental processor so that you can speed up. This resource has all the things you need, from reading the defense, passing mechanics, pre-snap filters, coverage ID, and much, much more. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.
How can we help you see today? At A&J Optical, we offer frames for the entire family: Nike, MCM, Timberland, Victoria's Secret, Tom Ford, Clear Eye View, Ray-Ban, Guess, and our own A&J Optical line. We accept most insurance: Davis Vision, iMed, Anthem, United Health, Medicare, and Medicaid. We are located at 3629 North Clinton Street, right next door to Wood & Nickel.
A&J Optical.
Halftime here at East Noble. Got the first half stats to give you. East Noble's leading scorer is Nathan Boker. He's got 11 points. Owen Van Gessel has 6. Mason Trish has 5. Hunter Klein has 2. Kobe Ritchie with 2. For Northrop, Keon Bates and Jaden Schmank each have 6 apiece. Dallas Lawrence and Dalman Alexander have 4 apiece. Hayden Lepley has 3. Ahmad Salam has 2. And while we've got a moment, we'll get in a few more words from our sponsors that allow us to do these games that we get to do so often here on SummitCitySports.com. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. We serve every level of athlete with our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. Ready to get the second half underway. East Noble with the lead, but Northrop did have a little 4-0 run to close out that second quarter. And now it's Northrop going with the 2-3 zone. East Noble's used this scheme for most of the game. East Noble was able to draw a lot of fouls late in that first half, although they left a lot of free throws out there. Last 3 trips to the line, Kobe Ritchie was at the line all 3 of those trips. He went 2 for 5. Last of those free throws being the front end of a 1-and-1. Little step back there. Boker missed the 3. He's hit 3 already in the game. As Schmank with a quick motor. Boker trying to slow him down, and a good job doing it, but it's Alexander who gets the putback to give Northrop the lead. Schmank going for the takeaway. It's recovered by Trish. That's a senior almost getting a steal from a freshman. The freshman able to keep his composure. And that same freshman, Trish, was just calling for the ball down low. This is Van Gessel going up against a 2-3 zone. He'll work it out to Owen Ritchie, I beg your pardon. Boker has hit 3 threes already in the game. Oh, there's some contact, and traveling is the call. Brandon Durnell right in the face of the official. Schmank made contact there with Trish. Durnell is shocked that it wasn't called a travel, or that it was called a travel, rather, and not a foul. But after taking the lead on their first possession of the half, Northrop gets it back. Committed a lot of fouls late in the first half, but East Noble was unable to hit their shots from the free throw line, and Keon Bates had a couple of huge buckets toward the end of the first half. That's Alexander setting the screen. Catch and shoot 3 from the corner, and that will not fall for Hayden Lepley, but a putback chance. Alexander takes advantage of it. Back-to-back second chance buckets for Dalman Alexander early on in the second quarter. Bad pass taken away by Lawrence. And Lawrence with a quick motor. Leaves it back to Alexander. Book it. A turnover leads to a quick J. And credit Dallas Lawrence going after the takeaway. Alexander going after a takeaway here. He knocked the ball out of bounds, though. A 6-0 run to open the second half for Northrop. Do have an update from one of our other games. Bishop Luers trailing Adams Central. That's Alexander with the rejection. He knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay with East Noble. Meanwhile, Adams Central leading Bishop Luers 26-23 at halftime. That game is at Adams Central, by the way. That section also features Fort Wayne's own Blackhawk Christian Braves. Long inbound to Owen Van Gessel. Rod Shamble telling his guys to pick up the pace. They've kept this 2-3 zone intact the entire second half so far, but Owen Ritchie is able to score against it. A 3-ball for the senior, the 6-foot senior. Alexander trying to answer, but to no avail, and Hunter Klein has the board. Klein has been quiet as far as scoring goes all night long. Boker through traffic, lofts it. Ritchie again. Not this time. Offensive board, Van Gessel. Lobs it back outside to Ritchie. Van Gessel finds Ritchie cutting down the baseline right over Alexander, swatted away and recovered by Boker. Trish can't hit. Offensive board, Klein. Ball's out of bounds. And it was touched by Northrop. Hayden Lepley was going for the recovery. Kobe Ritchie will enter the game for East Noble. Hunter Klein is limping off the court. He was down on his back earlier in the second quarter. Was able to walk off the court. He looked a little ginger, but I didn't notice a huge limp. He was just walking slowly at that point. This time as he walked off, he did have a limp. I certainly hope that that's nothing more than cramping. Have to wait and see. Trish looking for help. He finds Boker. Boker has it blocked by Alexander. Lawrence is there to knock it to Bates. East Noble sets up in their 2-3 zone. They remain in that style of defense. East Noble with a long possession there, unable to score off of it. Alexander is able to score on this possession. Quick catch and shoot jumper. Quick down the floor go the Knights. Count the basket and one, and it's the freshman Mason Trish. Get after it, young man. Speaking of freshmen, Don Lorray Reese coming into the game for the Bruins. Guy who gets a lot of good minutes off the bench. Could not complete the three-point play, and that's a strong rebound by Dallas Lawrence. Dalman Alexander, I beg your pardon. Mixing up Dalman and Dallas. Dallas Lawrence is a junior. Stands to be back on next year's team. Alexander cutting through. They get it to him. Alexander has 8 points just in this half so far. He's got a chance to add to it because he's going to the line right here. They call it on Owen Van Gessel. And Alexander will go to the line to shoot two. 3:15 on the clock here in this third quarter. Again, we remind you that at about 7:45, Northside and Snyder are set to tip off, though that game could get an earlier start. This game's been moving at a fairly fast pace so far. Alexander goes 1 for 2 from the line. Poked away by Schmenk. Lawrence recovers. Slips it forward to Bates. Put it down. Keon Bates. Boker working on Reese. Goes outside to Van Gessel. He'll find Trish. Go inside the paint. Van Gessel has it poked away. That's Lawrence. Lawrence, one-on-one, draws the foul on the interior. They're going to call it on the freshman Mason Trish. That's Trish's second. Second team foul against East Noble so far this half. Lawrence true on the first free throw. Beg your pardon, it's 37-31 in Northrop's favor. Lawrence 2 for 2. Some full court pressure here by Northrop, and Brandon Durnell, did he get the timeout? He did get the timeout, and it's a full timeout. So while they take the timeout, we'll go ahead and get in some words from a few of our sponsors while we have a chance. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it is game on. We are the region's largest integrated sports medicine team, providing athletes specialized services from improving their performance to recovering from injuries. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. And today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Well, Northrop's full court pressure starting to take a toll on East Noble. They got a steal off of it earlier in the game, and now they force Brandon Durnell to burn a timeout. By the way, that is the second timeout he has used in this game. Rod Chamble so far for Northrop has not had to use a timeout yet. I got to tip my hat to this Northrop defense. They've held East Noble to just 5 points this half, came out strong in the second half. Dallas Lawrence has been stingy on the defensive end. He's created a couple of turnovers, one of which led to a Dalman Alexander jumper. Alexander has 13 points total, 9 of those coming here in the second half. And Northrop's going to keep the press on, keep running it until they can beat it. Trish almost beat it. Now he does get across the timeline, and he's fouled by Schmenk. Little hand check there. It's only Schmenk's first foul of the game. Well, Nate Boker had the hot hand in the first half. He'd hit 3 threes in that half. See if he can get it going here in the second. Well, Hunter Klein back in the game. Apparently he's okay. Trish missed the jump shot. Klein going after it. Ripped down by Dallas Lawrence. Quick through the paint goes Schmenk, but his shot won't fall. And we've got a foul. They did not foul the shooter, I don't think. Dalman Alexander went down. They're going to call the foul on the sophomore Kobe Ritchie. Owen Ritchie, the senior, will check into the game. No relation, by the way, to Kobe Ritchie. A catch and shoot three. Don LaRae Reese would not fall, and Klein has the board. Well, as Brandon Durnell mentioned, leading up to this game, East Noble likes to run their offense through Hunter Klein, but Klein has been scoreless so far in this game. Still a lot of basketball left to be played, and Klein gets fouled. Are they going to say it was in the act of shooting? Yes, they are. They call it on Don LaRae Reese. And that's Don LaRae's third of the game. Klein's only points of this game have been from the free throw line. Still with a chance to add to it. Klein goes 0 for 2, and that was knocked out of bounds by Dalman Alexander. He was battling with Nate Boker. Alexander's got 7 inches on Boker. They zip it inside. Owen Ritchie from the corner, too strong. And it's Schmenk who nearly had the board. Alexander picks it up. East Noble will set up in their 2-3 zone. Or so it looks. Schmenk on the drive. The floater comes up short. Oh, Lawrence with the putback. He flew in there. Klein coming down the floor. Boker leaning in, short on the shot. Looked like it was off of Lawrence. No, it was not. Out of bounds off of East Noble. Well, Dallas Lawrence does have the 8 points so far in the game, but he's also shown a lot of hustle. He showed it there on that last bucket with that offensive putback. He's gotten a couple of steals, created some turnovers this half. They slip it inside. There's Lawrence again. Oh, but he missed the shot. That looked like a carry. For all the world, it looked like Van Kessel was carrying the ball. Mason Trish knocks down the jump shot. He makes it count for East Noble. Right back on the other end, though, Jaden Schmank makes it count for Northrop. East Noble's able to beat the press. Here goes Klein. Klein with the pull-up jumper. He was fouled. The shot doesn't fall. Klein looks like he's got some stiffness on that foot of his. Like it was the left foot that was giving him trouble. Well, whatever trouble he's getting from his foot, he's weathering the storm so far. 34.4 seconds left to play in this third quarter. He went 0 for 2 on his last trip to the line, trying to avoid a similar fate here. Jackson Hughes enters the game. He'll give Dallas Lawrence a breather. Lawrence has put in a good second half so far. Klein's able to get one to go. A 1-2-2 zone press here by the Knights. Salam finds Lawrence wide open. He'll step inside, rises up, could not connect. Ripped away. Salam reaching in to get the bucket. Driving down the baseline goes Mason Trish for the bucket. Don't blink or you'll miss it. As we're down to 6 seconds left in the quarter. Down to 3 seconds. Will it be Schmank to take the shot? It will, but it's short. Third quarter comes to an end, but a good third quarter for the Northrop Bruins. They build up an 8-point lead. Dallas Lawrence, a key contributor in that third quarter run. We're back in just a moment here on this broadcast of IHSAA sectional basketball.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Getting ready for the start of the fourth quarter. Northrop with a great defensive effort in that third quarter, and Dallas Lawrence making some good things happen there. He had 4 points in the quarter, but also had a steal, caused a couple of turnovers. Big offensive putback late in the quarter as well, and Northrop will start the fourth with the basketball, up by 8. This is their biggest lead of the game so far. They started out the game on a 7-0 run, and East Noble came back to take the lead. Actually took the lead in the first quarter. Alexander got fouled on the drive. That foul was on Hunter Klein, only his second so far. They get it into Salam. Schmank had a look for a moment. Owen Ritchie had given him quite a bit of space. Looks like East Noble might be in a 1-3-1 zone here. Here's Bates on the attack. Gets by one man, but his shot won't fall. The freshman Mason Trish has the rebound. The sophomore Ahmad Salam picks him up. That's a catch-and-shoot 3 for Nate Boker. First 3 since the first half. But it's his 4th of the game. Got a foul against East Noble on the other end. Nathan Boker, the leading scorer so far for East Noble. He's got 14 points. Mason Trish, the freshman, has 11. Boker's a sophomore, by the way. Salam's three won't fall. It's poked out. Salam gets to it. There's Alexander at the free throw line. No foul call. That looked like contact. Looked like he was hit on the arm after the shot. Trish coming down the floor. Back outside to Klein. His three ball, no good. Klein still scoreless from the field. Didn't even mention that Delman Alexander had 9 points. There's a takeaway from behind. Owen Ritchie with the steal. Trish guarded by Salam. He looks inside to Klein. Klein against Alexander. All blocked, and Alexander rips it away. Well, Alexander knows exactly who he's going against. He's going against the 15 points per game scorer, and he is doing a great job on him. Timeout called by Rod Chamble, a 30-second timeout. That's the first timeout that Chamble's had to use in this game. We'll keep it with you for this one. We got a replay worth showing you here. Delman Alexander has been doing a great job defensively against Hunter Klein, the Knights' top scorer, and you'll see an example of that here on this possession. Yeah, he's been on Klein almost all night long. Alexander gets the block, able to stay between his man and the basket. And when you stay between your man and the basket, good things can happen. Not only got the block, but got the steal, so to speak. Delman Alexander also having a good game scoring-wise. He had 9 points there in the third quarter alone, 13 for the game. Now, Northrop has not yet scored here in the fourth quarter. We've only had one made bucket for either team. That was Nathan Boker hitting a three. Bates swings it across court. Jackson Hughes too strong off the glass. And it's Van Gessel who rips away the board for East Noble. A catch-and-shoot three for Trish comes up short. Van Gessel has it in the paint. It's blocked. That's Alexander with the block, and here's Salam on the run-out. The floater bounces in. Alexander with the block, Salam with the bucket, and there's Bates creating a turnover. Up ahead to Schmenk. All too strong off the iron. Ritchie down the floor, blocked again. Alexander again. Alexander the Great. And here's Alexander with the ball. Klein on him. Double team comes. Alexander couldn't get the angle. And Van Gessel with the rebound. The screen set by Klein. Klein with the shot fake. Alexander on him again, and this time Klein finds a make from the field. Well, a good player can get it going at any moment, and East Noble certainly needs Hunter Klein to help him come back in this game. He's been defended very well by Delman Alexander. Here's Salam with the dish outside to Schmenk, and Northrop in no hurry here. The only problem is, while you are allowed to run the shot clock all the way down, try to go for a long possession. If you turn the ball over, you give your opponent a chance to get back in the game. Bates, the floater, too strong. Loose ball recovered by Trish. And Trish must have heard the footsteps of Bates as he came from behind. Trish, the floater, it is short. Alexander wins the battle with two men on him. Looked like Van Gessel almost came over his back. Schmenk contacted by Boker, and it's a foul. That'll be the sixth team foul against East Noble. Boker had been able to stay out of foul trouble until that foul. 3:48 to go in this fourth quarter. Long inbound to Reese. Alexander into the paint, flips it in. The dish to Owen Ritchie on the baseline, and Alexander comes out to guard him now. Hunter Klein is on the bench. And Ritchie's three won't fall. Wise decision there by Keon Bates. Basically boxed out Kobe Ritchie. Made sure he didn't touch the ball on his way out. 3:21 to go in regulation. Northrop with a great third quarter. They've gotten some great defense from the likes of Dallas Lawrence and Dalman Alexander. They're going to say that was touched by Northrop. Apparently Schmenk got a hand on the ball. Rod Chamble is beside himself. Trish goes inside to Van Gessel. Whistle before the shot, and a foul is called. It looks like they got Dallas Lawrence. Check that, Don LeRae Reese. And it's his fourth foul, 15th foul against Northrop. And by the way, the next foul by East Noble would put Northrop at the line for 1-1. A catch-and-shoot three by Ritchie. It's too strong and poked away by Don LeRae. And Don LeRae is fouled going down the floor. That's Mason Trish, and that will put Don LeRae Reese at the free throw line for 1-1. I don't believe Reese has been to the line yet in this game. Reese is in some foul trouble, but that last foul by Trish, he's now in foul trouble. It's his third. Oh, little shooter's roll there for the freshman. Two for two. That was pure. Hunter Klein will come back into the game. Klein has seen his first field goal go in just a few possessions ago. But Dalman Alexander's done a good job on him, and you do wonder how the foot is feeling for Hunter Klein. He was limping earlier in the game. That's Lawrence with a takeaway. The ball went right through the hands of Boker. And did they foul Lawrence? No, it's traveling. Northrop turns it over with 2:46 to go. Well, had that been a foul on East Noble, it would have been quite costly because you're putting Lawrence at the line. That pass was costly, or it almost was. Klein loses it in transition. Boker recovers, and Boker takes it to the bucket, and a broken play turns into points for East Noble. Timeout is called. Full timeout called by East Noble. We'll take one right along with them here on SummitCitySports.com.
I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
50-43, a huge bucket just a moment ago for East Noble. Nathan Boker taking what would have been a broken play and turning it into points. And now East Noble will set up a press, down 7 with 2.5 to go. Schmenk across the timeline. He's triple teamed, and he finds Don LeRae Reese. And Reese able to bank it home. The freshman makes it count late in the ball game. And we've got a foul against Northrop. Looks like it might be on Keon Bates. And it is. It's the 6th-team foul against Northrop. Next free throw will put East Noble into a 1-on-1 situation. Mason Trish, who's got 11 points in the game, handling the point for East Noble. Finds Klein. Klein working against Alexander, and he's fouled. Now, Klein was limping earlier in the ball game. Right now he's obviously able to stay in the ball game, but you do wonder how he might be feeling. I think it was his left foot that was the one that was bothering him, if I'm not mistaken. .205 to go, and Klein knocks down a huge free throw, one more. That was, by the way, the 7th-team foul against Northrop. Two for two goes Hunter Klein. Schmenk had to track down the ball before he inbounded it as Alexander gets by Klein. Alexander has to slow it down in transition. He'll bring it back outside. Alexander through the paint, the late dish, basket's good. Don Lorray Reese with the bucket. Well, this is a freshman who could very well be a starter, if not next year, maybe the following year. And he is hitting some big buckets in a playoff moment. How beneficial could this be for the young man? There's a turnover off the foot of Klein. Well, Dalman Alexander has played a great defensive game against Hunter Klein. Held him to just one field goal so far, and right on the inbound, there's a foul called on Nate Boker. That'll be the 8th-team foul against East Noble, and this will be 1-1. We'll send Keon Bates to the free throw line. We remind you that Snyder takes on Northside coming up next here at Carroll High School, and Bates misses the free throw, a chance to get the lead to double digits for Northrop late in the ball game. That would have been huge. Klein almost turned it over. Trish is there to save it. Trish's three won't fall. Ritchie couldn't handle the board. It's Reese who does handle it. Was he fouled? He was, and Dallas Lawrence looked like he had a limp for a second there. Well, now he's got more of a hop in his step. Don Lorray Reese will go to the free throw line for 1-1. Bruins will be in the bonus on the next East Noble foul, but this time Hunter Klein with the board. Reese pokes it away and goes racing off the court and underneath where we are. Luckily, Reese was able to keep his feet. You're just fortunate that there's no bleachers to where Reese was running. Otherwise, that could have been dangerous. That's shades of Derek Jeter in 2004. Reese going for the takeaway, almost got it. Van Gessel on the inside, and it's Alexander coming from behind. Lawrence was there as well. Swatted by Alexander. Not in my house. And Boker's going to have a hard time getting this in unless maybe he goes for the bounce pass. He doesn't. And Ritchie lets it fly from three. His three is good with a minute on the clock. Only a 6-point game. It's not over yet. Owen Ritchie with his second three of the ball game, and I think the timeout here was called by East Noble. Means they've got one more left. We'll take a quick break. You're watching IHSAA basketball.
has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really –
6-point lead for Northrop. Owen Ritchie with a 3 just moments ago to keep East Noble in the ball game. We have now reached the 1-minute mark, and Schmenk is fouled. That's on Owen Ritchie, and that will put Northrop in the double bonus. That's only Ritchie's first, but it's the 10th team foul against East Noble. Comes with 56 seconds to play. Well, I believe Northrop has missed the front end of a 1-and-1 each of their last 2 trips to the line. Not so here for Jaden Schmenk. But he does miss the second one. Klein with the board. East Noble still with a breath of hope. We're down to 50 seconds. It's Mason Trish across the timeline. Go against a little 2-3 zone. Northrop started using more zone. Oh, Van Gessel should have gone up with that thing. He does. I'm not sure that didn't go through the bucket twice, though. They're going to count the shot for Van Gessel. And Schmenk is looking to get it in. He finally does. They double team and foul. Don LeRae Reese was the one who got fouled. Again, folks, I'm not sure that shot didn't go through the basket twice. Nathan Boker commits his 4th foul of the game. Nobody's fouled out yet. Got a couple players who are close to doing so. There's 29.1 on the clock. And it's going to be double bonus for Don LeRae. Don LeRae Reese, even as a freshman, has been trusted to take some shots late in this 4th quarter, even as East Noble was still within striking distance. Dalvin Alexander drew defenders to himself earlier and found Reese open underneath the basket, and Reese cashed in on the shot. Rod Chamble wants a timeout. And he's going to get one. Well, for Chamble, that's only the 2nd timeout he's had to use, and we'll get another quick word from one of our sponsors. Online degree programs at the University of St. Francis are built for convenience and flexibility. Most degrees can be completed in 12 months. Visit online.sf.edu for more information. Well, Northrop has used a lot more 2-3 zone in this second half, and it's worked some good wonders. But the name of the game has been turnovers. Northrop has been able to force turnovers, whether it's with their 2-3 zone or their pressure. And a lot of those turnovers have proven to be costly for East Noble as the game has gone on. 29.1 seconds to play. Bruins up by 7. Their largest lead has been 9. Don LeRae had the pressure there on Mason Trish. Knights get the ball across the timeline, but they've only got 20 seconds. Ritchie wanted to get it off. Now he does, and he hits. Owen Ritchie for 3, and now East Noble setting up a press. Clock is running, and East Noble has to foul. They do. They fouled Don LeRae Reese with 6.6 left to go. Owen Ritchie, very patient possession there, but in being so patient, he let a lot of time tick off the clock. That possession took about 20 seconds off the clock, and plus the time it took before Northrop got the ball in play. This is double bonus, meanwhile, for Don LeRae Reese. He's able to cash in on the first free throw. I have a final from Adams Central. Adams Central defeats Bishop Luers 65-44. And Reese goes 2 for 2. Pull up 3 at the buzzer, won't fall. Alexander tips it away. The clock runs out. Good effort there by Nate Boker to chase down the ball, but it's all for naught. Northrop wins in the semifinals. The Northrop Bruins are going to the Class 4A Sectional 5 championship game, which will be tomorrow night right back here at Carroll High School, and they will get the winner of our next game. That's between Northside and Snyder. Well, Northrop with a great defensive effort there in that second half. Did a great job forcing turnovers, whether it was with the zone defense, the full court pressure. Dallas Lawrence and Dalman Alexander were key contributors. Lawrence primarily with his defense, Alexander with his scoring and with his defense as well. Well, for our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game, we're going to recognize Dallas Lawrence and Dalman Alexander. Alexander finishes with 15 points, blocked several shots in the game. He had the pleasure of guarding Hunter Klein, and he held him to 1 field goal. Dallas Lawrence shared the ball with his teammates, got some key buckets, some key rebounds, and played great defense in this game. So Lawrence and Alexander are your Parkview Sports Medicine players of the game. That will do it for Game 1 of this sectional semifinal. Game 2 is to follow at about 7:45. Looks like that is when the game will start. They've got 20 minutes on the clock for warm-ups, and the clock has not yet started. But Northrop is the winner over East Noble. They'll face the winner of Snyder versus Northside, which is coming up next. Sioka Cleaning and Restoration, providing top-notch commercial cleaning services, including janitorial, water damage, and state-of-the-art disinfecting services throughout Northeast Indiana. Are you ready to do what it takes to put your past behind you, whether it's expunging your criminal record or helping to get your driver's license reinstated? If so, Jolly Law Firm is your answer. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business, a system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area. From ages 5 to 18, our players are equipped with elite-level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together we can reach the summit. Tom Steele Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana. Our specialized sports medicine team offers direct access to physical therapy and sports physicians in the new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse in Fort Wayne, Indiana. No referral needed, saving you time and money. Visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more. Again, the final score, Northrop defeats East Noble 59-53. They'll go on to the sectional championship here at Carroll High School, and that will take place tomorrow night at 7 against the winner of our next game between Snyder and Northside. The Legends and the Panthers are already out on the floor. Warm-ups have started, and the game will get started, looks like, in about 18 minutes or so. Until then, for my camera operator, Lindsey Kissler, this is Thad Goff saying so long. We do hope you'll join us in less than 20 minutes for Snyder versus Northside. In the meantime, Northrop beats East Noble 59-53 on SummitCitySports.com and IHSAATV.org.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, Welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.